Well, the concern is misplaced because if you look at the statistics, African American voters are voting in just as high a percentage as Americans.
National status to the world. Shalom, my fellow sovereign Hebrew Israelites, modern day Pharaoh, Obama, New Egypt, the United States and the United States of America, United Nations, and to the people all around the world. I am Akish Faraj, a sovereign Hebrew Israelite of the tribe of Judah, of the 12 tribes of Israel, according to the biblical Torah Holy Bible. I am here today in front of the White House with a document in my hand in which I shall read to declare and proclaim mine and my people, the so-called Negroes, African Americans, blacks, colored, etc., true sovereign Hebrew Israelites, national status to the world. The Immigration and Nationality Act, INA, that says any person who is not a citizen or a national of the United States relates to we sovereign Hebrew Israelites who were involuntarily brought to the United States by means of the historic Atlantic slave trade, according to the curses of Deuteronomy 28, verses 15 through 68. So-called Negroes, African Americans, blacks, colored, etc. are not, and I put emphasis on not, a true nationality, heritage, identity, nor does it have a language for any known existing people on the face of the earth. Dred Scott versus Sanford, 60 U.S. 393, 1857, was a landmark decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, which the court held that Negroes of African descent, whether slave or free, could not be American citizens, and therefore had no standing to sue in federal court, and that the federal government, Congress, had no power to regulate slavery in the sovereign 50 states, territories of the United States of America. Dred Scott, also called a Negro of so-called African descent, had been taken by his owner to a free state, attempted to sue for his freedom. In a 7-2 decision written by Chief Justice Roger B. Taney of the Supreme Court, denied Scott's request, ruling an act of Congress to be unconstitutional. If Dred Scott was alive today, he would be considered a so-called Negro, African American, black, colored. With a European slave master name, which shall be used throughout this document. As long as Dred Scott considered himself a so-called Negro, African American, black, colored, etc., and retained the European name, Dred Scott, he was the legal property of his slave master. The Dred Scott decision applies to those sovereign Hebrew Israelites that currently consider themselves to be so-called Negro African Americans, blacks, colored, etc. There is a difference between the United States Federal Corporation and the United States of America, according to Dred Scott versus Sanford. The United States has no jurisdiction or authority in any state of the Union, the public beyond the District of Columbia. According to 28 U.S. Code 3002 definitions, 15, United States mean a federal corporation. The federal government and the D.C. government are both governments. As governments, they both are also corporations in the general sense of that word. There are distinct governments through these two governments, though these two governments overlap because Congress has authority in both, but not in the United States of America.